Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to the UPBEAT Impact Talk. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a special day and a special event for us as we are closing the first edition of UPBEAT tomorrow. And today we wanted to talk a little bit about the impact of the project on the European music scene. And for this, we have three lovely people with us today, representing two of our platform members, Andraž Kajzer from MENT Ljubljana from
Hello.
Slovenia, Vilius Arlauskas from Saulės Muzika Festival from Lithuania, and last but not least, Patryk Galuszka, who was behind the UPBEAT Impact Assessment study, who is an associate professor at the University of Łódź. And so welcome, thank you again for joining. And before we jump into the discussion, for those viewers who don't know too much about UPBEAT, I would love to give a brief overview of what we did in the past 3 years. So UPBEAT, the European Showcase platform, is by the name a platform project supported by the European Commission. And our goal in the last 3 years was to support emerging European world music artists through showcase festivals by providing them more performance opportunities, mentoring opportunities, speed meetings, networking opportunities, and we also supported with this project all our platform members so that they can invite more of these less represented emerging artists from the world music scene. And I don't want to talk too much about the project. I think it's better to have a visual presentation about this. So we have a video to screen for you now. So if you're ready, let's play the video. As the video said, we will keep going at the end. So we will talk in more detail about this towards the end of our discussion. But now I would like to give the floor to Patryk to talk a bit about the research that he conducted for the project.
Thanks. Yeah, as you saw the numbers, it's a huge project. So I had this this question how to approach it and how to design a study that would capture all the aspects of this project. So I decided to implement various research techniques. First, I conducted over 50 interviews with the main stakeholders, that is members of showcases taking part in the project, but also artists who take part in the project, who played at one of the showcases, and music bookers, venue programmers, festival programmers, artist managers, etc. So I talked to many people, and I got a lot of interesting information that I used in the final document. But I also tried a little bit of numerical analysis with numbers, digital metrics, to see if the artist performance at the Showcase Festival brings any visible changes in the number of Spotify likes or listens or likes on Facebook, on views on YouTube, etc. And also, I visited several festivals where I conducted participant observation, which is ethnographic method. I took pictures, I made field notes. This was also good material to analyze. And finally, we had a couple of surveys that brought additional information. So after having all that, I just sat and analyzed and wrote the document that we will talk about later. So yeah, I think we go to questions now, and I take the charge. Okay, all right. So let me start with a very general question. What was your first festival or showcase festival experience? You can choose festival or particular showcase festival. Please tell me, and starting maybe with Andraž.
Sure. So actually, I think my first festival that I attended when I was very young, so maybe 14, was Fest, which was a city festival in Ljubljana. It was not a showcase festival, but it was a showcase festival of like different music for a whole month, actually for the whole city. So it wasn't a dedicated event for professionals and musicians, but it was just showing different arts and different music genres to the audience for free every August. Unfortunately, it doesn't exist anymore, but I think the festival had a big influence, not just on me, but on a lot of people living in Ljubljana.
Vilius.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this was the first, but I remember it was a blues music festival, open air, and I was actually attending not as a viewer, but as a participant, in that sense that I was helping some people, my friends, who were responsible for some activities. And I guess it was first in person, first time when I saw that there's such a big, massive infrastructure, and we were only responsible for a few activities, but still it made like a huge impression of how many people were dedicated to make this thing possible, and how much of a lot of people efforts it requires to make interesting event. And of course the music was also very very interesting, very diverse, and I really enjoyed this experience.
Cool, thanks. And Veronika, your first festival or showcase?
The first festival that I remember going to was Sziget Festival, and I was around 16, I think. It was a bit of a worry for my parents at that age, and it was a huge festival. I don't think I've been anywhere as busy before, or maybe even after that. So yeah, that is my first festival experience. What I remember is performance of Kasabian, and a lot of dust everywhere, but it was great. And the first showcase experience was actually the kickoff of this project in Vienna at Waves Vienna. So it was a deep dive into the project and the world of showcases at the same time for me.
But since then you visited so many that you're more than
Yes.
an expert right now. We'll talk about that. Okay, all right. Let's move to the questions related to our project. So how do you think UPBEAT contributed to the emerging artists showcase experience and the relation between European showcases and artists? How can we improve showcases in order to take that is artist needs more into consideration? And let me start with Veronika first.
Yeah, so how did it improve the showcase experience of artists? I think this project was very helpful for us, also being on the other side, on the festival organizer side, as we got a lot of feedback. Throughout the project, we were collecting feedback from the participating delegates and the participating artists, and we got a lot of useful comments artists who perform at our festival. So that is one thing that we can shape a more artist-friendly festival, partially because of this project. And we also have got the opportunity to organize more networking and mentoring programs throughout our festival for the artists. So that is also something that is thanks to UPBEAT that is happening at Budapest Ritmo Festival. And on the other hand, from other elements of the project, we got to be in personal touch with a lot of artists. And one great example of this is the UPBEAT Best New Talent Awards, which means that throughout the 3 years we had a close contact with at least 30 bands. And that's only the bands that were nominated for the award, not to mention all the others. And we provided mentoring opportunities for them also. And we just today we had a feedback from Vlad Yaremchuk, who was one of our mentors and jury members in this year, that it was such a great experience for him too, as a quasi outsider to the project, to talk with these artists and get find out more about their thought processes and struggles and all the things that affect them today when they try to break into the international market. So I think it was a mutually beneficial relationship with the artists. They got more opportunities thanks to the project, and we also got much needed feedback, and we can develop the project in a way thanks to that, which will be even more effective at achieving our goals thanks to these artists. And yeah.
And Vilius, your perspective on this?
Well, I think first I was really enjoying to reading your impact paper, and I think it's very important to have some data and to compare what was before, what was happening, what was improved. So it's a bit difficult now to tell like how we improved the situation, because the Europe is so big and every country has different situations. So talking from Lithuanian perspective, for example, we had some showcase festivals, but they were genre diverse. For example, I think that our festival was like and still is like one genre focused, or at least, of course, it's wide genre, but it brings this attention and exposure for this genre, and not only for the audience but also for the artists, like some kind of perspective that and that this is very interesting, that there are lots of bands doing similar music in that sense in genre. So I think it's very difficult to compare what was improved, but I would definitely tell that this project is a very good example of supporting in that sense, that we could expose and present more artists, more diverse in that sense, in the world folk music in general, and also help for the audience to discover them, as it is so difficult at these days to stand out and give this opportunity, I guess.
Yeah, of course. I can add to this that I can see a whole sense of building community around this music. Okay, Andraž, maybe you want to add something to this question.
Sure. So I think UPBEAT as a network offered a space to rethink and to discuss a lot of things between the festivals themselves already, and I think that's always a great starting point. And the other part of UPBEAT, so the main project, brings a full package to a festival. So our festival is not one genre focused, and we did not host a lot of world music or global sounds in previous years, although we were always open to them. So I think bringing the whole package, which is not just supporting the artists performing at our festival, but also supporting the delegates coming, the topics, the mentorships, it gives a value to the artists and to our event, and it makes it all viable for everyone involved. Because with limited budgets, you kind of try to focus on achieving certain things, and if you open the door to certain artists that won't be recognized by the professionals you are usually bringing, you're not making a lot of sense for everyone. So this way we were really able, I think, to evolve our festival in the needs of the artists and to the needs of our local scene and our event as well. So I think that was very important. And yeah, that's my thoughts.
Thank you. Let us move to the second question, which all the questions are related, so we go smoothly. How did UPBEAT contribute to the financial stability of the members? How do you see its impact on the sustainability and financial sustainability of the festivals? And first, I would like to ask this question to Vilius.
Well, I think it's very, very important, and it was very crucial, and it connects this with the previous mentioned thing that, you know, in every country and every particular festival has different situations, you know, and we are very lucky to be part of this UPBEAT members, and we always when we talk about this impact, you know, we always question ourselves about the quality, and the quality is the main thing, you know, to help make better events, to provide better opportunities for artists. But, you know, everything somehow is connected with the finances and budgets. And when we started our festival, it was before this UPBEAT project, and we were like, we just had a wish to start to do something very, very simple. And it was like one night event with some friends from the Baltic countries, because they are very near, and, you know, it's the Baltic states. And since we joined, you know, we could expand. We could make 3 days, and this year even 4 days festival with 10, 9, 11 artists. So it's, and also what I meant, what's important is that we can plan, because we know that this project will last at least for 3 years, and this gives us time to think not only whether make possible another festival edition, but we can actually plan what we would like to do, and it like unties our hands a bit, and we get some time. I guess that time is most important thing, which the funding gives for smaller organizations as ours, to understand that we will be able to do.
Yeah, I remember my respondents said that, you know, it gives them possibility to plan in a little bit more advance than just a year. Yeah, 3 years, it's much better time prospect, you know, to do things. All right, Andraž and Veronika, do you want to add comment on this question?
Yeah, I think Andraž can go first.
Sure. Yeah, maybe I'm repeating myself from before, but I really think the UPBEAT project brought like the whole package to our event, in the sense of, like, this year we hosted 12 UPBEAT supported artists and even more world music artists altogether, which is definitely a progress from previous years. and you could really feel it. And I think so this financial part really made sense to evolve the festival that has already existed for 10 years. But without this funding, it would be hard to evolve it in this way. So it's crucial in this sense, and it also expands the horizons of our team and addresses the audience with different music. The audience that might be coming to the festival for the last 4, 5, 6 years, and they're exposed to something new, and I think they also appreciate it. So yeah.
Veronika?
Yeah, I think the guys already mentioned most of the things that is relevant for our organization too. But one thing I would add, that being a part of this project is also a great point of reference when applying for other funding schemes, that you have something to show that you've been part of a large-scale project, you already have experience participating in an EU project, so you have a better chance when applying for further funding for other things too, not just specifically for this project.
Absolutely, I would call it stamp of ability, that you can.
Yes, stamp
use.
of approval, like
Yeah,
quality.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's move to the third question. What can you say about the impact of UPBEAT on the programming of the festival? Have your delegates and audiences noticed that world ethno music is more represented in your lineup? And I will ask this question to Andraž, because he represents multi-genre festival. So you're the best suited to answer this. Let's go.
Sure. Yeah, I think it was felt quite well at our event, especially this year. There was much more delegates, much more interest in this artist, and also very good results after the festival. So one of the artists that was supported by UPBEAT got 10 confirmed gigs after the event in a month, which I think is one of the best results we ever had. And I think it also it's like it also goes in hand with that we are a multi-genre festival, and this artist is like on a crossover of world music and other genres. And I think this is something refreshing for the delegates that come here often and that want to present different sounds at their events. Especially nowadays, I think a lot of the audience and the delegates, I think like event organizers, festival organizers, are looking for a very multiverse, very open idea of what music is. So of course you have certain genre festivals, but I think people are curious and want to hear more. So I think that was the effect.
Yeah, great. Veronika?
Maybe it didn't have so much effect on musical programming, because as similarly to Vilius, we are not, I wouldn't say we focus on only one genre, but it's explorative festival, mostly of global sounds. So the project did not affect so much the musical programming, but it did affect the conference programming a lot. We were constantly comparing notes and having discussions with our colleague that was in charge of the conference program of Budapest Ritmo, to see which topics would fit best, also with the aims of the project. And also we were talking a lot about what kind of programs we could provide the artists with that fit into the UPBEAT scheme. So yeah, I think the most serious effect the project had on our programming is the conference.
Mm-hmm. I will ask Vilius if you want to add anything. If not, then we will move to the next question.
I think one thing I would like to mention is that, that we got the opportunity to bring so many bands that would, I guess, hardly ever would visit Lithuania. as there are only a very limited organizations who bring that world music artist, and especially emerging ones. So I think that was the biggest impact for the audience as well, and to discover, and also for the local artists, because they could also have opportunity to meet other artists, and of course meet the delegates. And also it helped a bit, I guess, because we tried to invite also local delegates to discover this genre, be more open-minded, and I think this genre is getting more and more interest.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely important not to forget about the audience, I think. Yeah, that benefited. Okay, let's move to the fourth one. How do you see UPBEAT's impact on your musical landscape and experience? What I mean by this is, can you see the benefit of participating in more showcase festivals? You certainly, thanks to being part of the project, had the chance to see how other showcases are organized. And did your definition of world music change because of seeing how it's done on other showcases? And let me start with Veronika.
Yes, definitely. I think thanks to this project, I got to visit a lot of showcase festivals around Europe, and there is we could argue about what in each country is called world music. Some people don't hate to use this word, so that's one thing that was very, very interesting to see how different people from different backgrounds approach this genre. But yeah, it definitely changed my perception of what is world/global music. I think I became a lot more open-minded, let's say, like what can be considered that or what not, because it's very relative. Sometimes what one would consider that, oh, this is something I can definitely feel the traditional elements of, I don't know, let's say Spain, which for me is completely foreign. I don't know so much about it. I might not even recognize it. For me, it would just sound like, regular pop. But once people drew my attention to it, I thought, okay, yeah, I actually can see what they mean. So in this sense, I became way more open-minded. And yeah, another thing is that I also felt few years before that, oh, it's so hard to find concerts in my city, in Budapest, where I could go and check out artists that I liked, because I liked world music. That was the scene that I was interested in. But now, I don't know, it's like my horizons have opened, and I discovered that, oh, actually there is a lot of events. In the past few years, I think there might have been a resurgence of world music acts traveling around Europe. So maybe it is partially because of the project, or just, my perception changing. I cannot tell, but I did notice this change.
Thank you. Andraž?
So yeah, after programming MENT for 10 years, it's very refreshing to have time and focus and funding to explore more sounds, other sounds, and just like dive into this. So for me, it was definitely expanding horizons. And I think, yeah, it influences our programming. But on the other side, we also are always kind of on a line of crossover genres, of exploring new territories with music. So I think we're always looking for crossovers in world music as well. And I think our audience and delegates expect this as well. So it's definitely an interesting trip.
Mm-hmm. And Vilius?
Of course, it's a huge benefit to travel and see so many bands playing. And I would lie if I could say that I didn't enjoy every trip to smaller or bigger showcase festivals, and I wish that more people could attend those festivals to see how beautiful and diverse music can be. And I think that it, as an organizer, you get the opportunity to speak to the people and get some insights and share the best practices, because it's like the sizes may be different, or the amount of artists, but the basic things are the same, and we all seek some, I don't know if the right word is perfection, but I mean to make this event as interesting, as good as possible. So every little thing matters, and you observe and you see what's working, and of course sometimes you can't implement everything, but there are some things that could help and could easily be done and implemented. So I really enjoy this, and I wish for everyone to be more spontaneous and maybe attend as much festivals as possible to see this diverse and seen what we call world music.
Yeah, I think it's showing the best of European culture, I would say. And from the audience perspective, I can maybe add to this that it's also about breaking stereotypes, because you see a Portuguese band, world music band, but you realize it's not fado. Like everybody has this association, Portugal fado, and it turns out it's something completely different. So it's good for learning. Okay, let's move to the next one, and this is about sustainability and self-awareness. What impact UPBEAT had on your organization, if any? Has the evaluation and self-assessment tools brought you new knowledge on your internal operation? Let me start with Andraž.
Sure, yeah, that's again a thing that I think a lot of events would try to work more on. So sustainability, taking care of the environment, of your impact with your event. But of course, there's always lack of budget and timing to do this. And this year, for the first year, we were able to have a sustainability manager who's part of our team already. And he's taking care of transport and accommodation. So he has a good overview of what's happening at our festival, and he was able to take like different measures and present them, and we were trying to find ways of how to minimize our impact and how to get the audience and the delegates coming over to be more aware of their impact at our event, and how can they take part in a more meaningful way, be it like be connected with a brand that's offering bicycles. So you were able to rent a bicycle even for free for a little while. We were promoting shared rides and stuff like this. So we had like a promo campaign around it. So it definitely influenced MENT in this way.
Mm-hmm. Vilius?
Well, we are a smaller festival, and in that sense, it helps somehow, to implement everything maybe faster or reduce the impact almost to zero. And during this project, we had like wonderful opportunity. This sustainability theme is present for several years, and it's very important. But it was actually very nice to talk with some people who have knowledge in this. And although we had done some things in the past, but we actually improved a bit, as we have I will give you even a small example. As we are small festival, we managed not only to bring like vegetarian and vegan food, but we also provided like typical silverware that you have at your home, so we don't use one-time plastic or plates. And actually, like, we talked with our service providers, and they were very happy about it. And and even the artists also greeted this, with the huge appreciation, and they were like super happy about it. Of course, there are still some things that it's a bit difficult. What I mean regarding flights, for example, or sometimes even you provide hotels which are near the venue, but the artists require some help bringing instruments or whatever. So but it's actually was very nice to get this kind of expertise, what could be done. Also very simple things, for example, to know what the chemicals were used to clean the venues and so on. And there are companies, they have some their own policies, and you can ask what do they use, and and it's and those little steps can we can make it better in that sense.
Thanks. I mean, I must control the time, so I will just ask Veronika do you have anything to add, or if not, then we will move to the next question.
Yeah, just one short thought is that I think one of the things that partially was achieved at Ritmo and at Hangvető by the project was that we collaborate maybe even more with other surrounding countries, venues and festivals from surrounding countries to organize a tour, like a chain of tour for the artists. So it's more economically and also ecologically friendly. So I think that improved.
Okay, great.
In our case.
So let me move to the next one, which is about UPBEAT 2. What comes with UPBEAT 2? Do you plan to add any new activities? And this is the question to Veronika.
Yes, so as I mentioned in the beginning, we are really happy that we can continue this project for 4 more years. And we would like to focus more on the development of the emerging artists. So for now, we had the UPBEAT Best New Talent Award, which gave an opportunity for 10 selected artists of mentoring, and for the winner another performance opportunity, video making opportunity. And now we would like to open this up on a wider scale, so we will have potentially an open call for artists to apply for mentoring and to go through a whole mentoring process with a tangible output, which is a career plan for these artists. And we will do this in collaboration with the European Music Managers Alliance. So we are really looking forward to working with them on this. And another thing is that we would like to focus more on exporting European talent to other parts of the world. So one other thing we are planning is that we will have overseas UPBEAT supported showcase nights, potentially on the American and the African continent. So that's really, really exciting. And as far as the promotion goes, we would like to also dedicate more screen time for the supported artists. So we will have a communication campaign focusing on the journey of artists going from performances to showcases, and like just to have a better understanding of what they are going through in their everyday lives.
Yeah, I mean, we are all learning, and I think UPBEAT 2 is the result of this learning also. Yeah, it's a little bit constructed differently. All right, so I know, Veronika, that you also have a question to me, so I'm all ears.
Yes, I was curious to know, like, how did this impact assessment study connect to your previous researches, or was there anything that you found out, throughout this process that you can use in your own research and in your professional life? And what was your general, attitude, and how did it feel to you? Did you
Thanks.
even like traveling to all of these festivals, or was it too much of a hassle?
Yeah, I must say I was really lucky to become the member of this project, because I've been a music industry researcher working in academia for like 20-something years. So I had a lot of experience, a lot of interviews with music business people, but mostly in the recording industry field. And a few years ago, around 2020, not a very good timing taking into account COVID, but I switched to studying live music scene, and I did quite a few interviews with Showcase Festival people, even before being part of UPBEAT. And then came this project, and I learning that you need an impact assessment. I said, wow, it's really difficult to study impact of showcases. So it was challenging, but it was fascinating on the other hand. And it was challenging, for example, because conducting interviews with so busy people, sometimes during showcases, is challenging because of time constraints. So you don't have as much time as during usual social sciences studies interviews. You need to be quick, precise, and you need to be even more organized than in general. But it was interesting. And traveling, there were places I liked more, and there were places I liked less. And it was not because festivals were worse or something, but simply because of logistical issues. I mean, traveling from Poland or Germany, where I lived for a couple of months, to Spain is more difficult than for example, to Czech Republic. But overall, I collected, I think, interesting empirical material, which is hopefully useful for you guys, but also it will be useful for my teaching and research. So one day I plan to write a book about live music business, and showcases are so important part of this that I'm sure I will be drawing from the knowledge I learned and I got during this project. Thanks. So guys, I mean, it seems we are done with our main questions, and we need to give a voice to our audience. So are there any questions from the audience? They are not appearing immediately, but I think they might appear. So in the meantime, I would also have some questions, like backup questions to you guys, but are there any questions from the audience? I don't see them just yet. Okay.
I see one.
Oh, yeah, there's one. What would be different without UPBEAT? What are the things that you wouldn't achieve without it? That's a good one. Okay. Yeah, Vilius, do you want to address this?
Yeah, I guess for us, maybe I will repeat again myself, but yeah, for us it would be very, very, very difficult to even organize a showcase in that sense that everyone understands a showcase, like invite delegates, for example, or and invite bigger amount of bands. So this is like, it's very crucial. And I think for every other every festival and showcase, there are different things that how this project helped, and I think for us it was very, very important to become more visible and to have time, to plan something and start to think more about the programming, about how the program will look like, and what we could do better, instead of always struggling with the finances. So that's, I guess, the main thing.
So I would say development. Yeah, that's the word that covers this. Yeah. Okay, Andraž.
So we wouldn't be able to achieve the sustainability measures we've taken, and affording a sustainability manager to be part of the team. And like the biggest thing, of course, is the whole UPBEAT part of MENT for the past 2 years. So having a dedicated part with delegates, professionals, artists, mentorships from the world music scene and wider. And I think we wouldn't achieve it without UPBEAT at all.
Veronika?
For us, it was a big step in the sense that we were the first Hungarian organization to ever lead a platform project. So that's a pride for us. And also, I think thanks to UPBEAT, our network as an organization has grown so much that we can't even measure it. We met so many people thanks to traveling to these showcases, thanks to like recruiting associated partners, meeting new people thanks to our platform members. So that's, I think, some of the most pleasant and in the long term also advantageous achievements.
Mm-hmm. I think it shows also in my research that what came from the project is the network, and it will bring results over several years, perhaps even not immediately. We will see. All right, any other questions from the audience? Please, guys.
There are 2 more.
Wow,
as
I don't see them yet, but I hopefully will.
Then should I read them?
Yeah, if you see them and I don't see them, then let's go, of course. Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you experience any shift in your audiences as a result of UPBEAT? Oh, that's the good one. I think we should start with Andraž, yeah, because it's multi-genre festival.
Sure, it's very hard to measure this, but definitely if you bring more focus on world music, you definitely get interest from the audience that is maybe not as interested in your festival as it was before. Of course, a lot of people have a certain opinion about your festival, maybe from the artists they already knew before. And as a showcase festival, it's always hard to address people because they usually don't know any or at least most of the artists. So I think it definitely brought attention in the scenes that were not as interested in the event. But of course, it influences the audience that's coming otherwise as well. So just opening the horizons.
Vilius?
Yeah, I guess your impact study is one of the things, we really need, because it's always opinions, and we need some stats, we need some researches to share with the people who are funding, for example, these things, and then they can see the numbers or speak in their own language, that we could show that this is important, this makes difference. So in my personal opinion, I think that during this years of festival, we are still very, very small festival. This year we will celebrate the 5th edition, but I still think that we managed to grow every year a bit regarding in the numbers of audience. Plus, I also would say that I'm not sure if our festival was this huge impact, but in general, I see that world folk music is getting more attention, and it's not only attention by the audience, but also by forming new bands, or those bands that perform. They are still growing. They do their solo shows. They release their albums. so I think what we are trying to do is to become like a festival which presents those emerging artists, and sometimes it's so difficult to present them, but what we try to build is that there's this kind of mood of discovery, and it's diverse, and we hope that this is why people like it and want to get in this journey during the festival.
Yeah, thank you. Veronika, do you want to add anything, or we just leave time for the last question?
Just again one short thought, which I don't know exactly if it's the result of UPBEAT or a combination of things, such as our efforts of our communications team and our programming director. But this previous edition of Budapest Ritmo, which was a 10th special birthday edition, was sold out. So we definitely saw this change, that the festival is getting more popular and the audience is getting actually younger and younger, which is really nice to see.
That's great. That's great. I mean, the festival is amazing. I didn't see 10th edition, but I think it was 9th. It was just a huge thing. Okay, guys, there was the last question. I saw it, but it disappeared. Veronika, do you see it?
Yes, it's can you as members recommend any improvements?
All right. Yeah, that's the good question. Okay, Veronika, so you can start and then we will move.
Actually, yeah, again, I would refer to your study, that it gave us so many, like points to watch out for in the future. For example, when we communicate the results of the showcase selection, to make it easier for the artists to find extra funding or organize a tour. So I think that's something that we could improve, is to plan a little bit more in advance, to leave more time for the artists to prepare for the performance also, because they need to perform, they need to check who is going to be there, who to talk to, etc., etc.
Absolutely, I remember respondents saying this. All right, Vilius?
Well, there are lots of things what could be improved, but I would also like to strengthen like in general, that this project, it was very interesting and pleasant experience. I mean, it was like even the guidelines were created, but I still felt like a member in that sense that I could share our own insights, and people would listen, and some improvements were done during the project. And I think that there are in every aspect of the regarding the delegates selection, or preparing artists, mentoring sessions, everything could be done a step forward or better in that sense. But I think it was very well done, this project, and I really value the experience that I and our team gathered during this project. So, and I think that we as a members and associated partners, I guess in the future we will do more this kind of open talks and share some insights, so everybody could at least feel heard, and we could collaboratively search for the better solutions, because we are very diverse and everyone's situation is very different, but we need to find some guidelines that could apply for everyone. And it's very tough. I can't imagine how tough it is, but what I loved about this UPBEAT thing, that I didn't felt left alone. I was constantly having conversations if I had questions, and I think that the UPBEAT 2 will be even better, and we will try to improve in a lot of different aspects in our festival.
Thanks. And briefly, Andraž, do you want to address this also?
I just want to say I think the project was run very flawlessly thanks to the Hangvető team, very efficiently. We joined in the year 2, so we were not there from the beginning, unfortunately. But I think this kind of platforms really need time. And I can really feel after this year's edition, a lot of artists and a lot of professionals are asking me about UPBEAT. How can they get their artists involved or their events? So I think like just having more time, having a few more years will develop a project much more diverse and much more broader.
Okay, guys. I would really like to thank everybody for being here and for this opportunity to talk about it, and for our speakers. And I don't think we have time to ask another questions. So let's just make it kind of a closing part. And I'm thanking and I'm asking Veronika to make one short announcement. Right. Thank you.
Yes. So if any one of you listening is interested in the actual impact assessment study that we've been discussing, we will link it in the comments on Facebook and on our description box on YouTube and in our bio on Instagram. So you will be able to read this document and find it on all our social media platforms, and of course our website too.
And I think any question that you might want to ask is probably addressed there. Thank you once again, and thanks the audience for watching. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.